Hello guys, welcome to Edukripa. Today we are continuing with the part 2 of the chapter Nutrition in Animals. Before that, we will have a quick recap. What did we learn in the previous videos? We learned that the definitions of nutrition and digestion. We learned about the different feeding strategies in different animals and the components of human digestive system. Recall those components. Let's see. And digestive tract till stomach. Digestive system and digestive tract both are same. Now we will quickly go through what nutrition is. Why is nutrition necessary? Nutrition is crucial for energy and growth in living organisms. What does it involve? For the nutrition to happen, it involves obtaining food and essential nutrients for maintaining health. Next, in this video, we will further dive into 5 steps of nutrition. What are those 5 steps? 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. This goes on like this. Finally, egestion happens. What is ingestion? In the previous video, I explained that intaking of food through mouth is called as ingestion. What is digestion? Digestion means breaking down of complex substances into simpler substances. Next, absorption. These 3 are the topics that we are mainly going to explore in this video. Absorption means when nutrients are digested, they further needs to be absorbed by the body for it to be utilized. This utilization process is called as assimilation. Nutrients utilized by the body which are digested. Next, egestion. This is the process of removal of waste. Unused food which gets out of the body through the end of the digestive tract, it is known as egestion. We'll further dive into more detailed explanation. Taking food in, I already told you, ingestion is the first step. We know that ingestion can only happen through the mouth. Next, this is the first process through which the nutrition starts. Next, digestion. Of course, we learned in the previous video. Digestion means breaking down of complex substances into simpler substance through the help of some bodily enzymes and chemical substances. Next, absorption. This is where this part of the unit starts. This video starts from absorption. Absorption is when nutrients are digested in the stomach, then they go to the small intestine where the absorption happens through the small intestine. This can be said as the final part of the digestion because nutrients are getting absorbed. Now, assimilation. What does assimilation mean? Assimilation is the process in which organisms utilize digested and absorbed food for their bodily functions. What are these bodily functions? For the growth of the body. If there is any injury that has occurred in the body, repairing of that injury, growing of hair, growing of nail, maintaining the health of the skin, everything can be considered as the bodily functions. Next, egestion. Do you think that all the food that we eat is all the food that we utilize? No, we can't utilize 100% of the food we eat. There is some unwanted substances which will be left at the end of the digestion process. How is it removed from the body? It is removed by the process of the egestion. What is egestion? Egestion is the removal of undigested food and waste products from the body. Why do we need to do that? This process ensures that body maintains healthy balance and expels substances that are no longer needed, thus keeping the digestive system efficient. We can't permanently store all the food in our body, hence it needs to get ejected. This process is egestion. Next, small intestine. Finally, we dive into the small intestine. Small intestine is a very crucial organ and very crucial part of the digestive tract. What does small intestine do? Absorbing nutrients and from the digested food. It also absorbs vitamins and minerals and helps it to enter the bloodstream to be supplied to the rest of our body. There is particular thing which you need to focus, which is called as villi. What is villi? These are the finger-like projections. Finger-like projections, when you, on a microscope, if you ever put a small intestine, part of a small intestine and enlarge it, you can see these finger-like projections. What does this finger-like projections do? This helps in the absorption by increasing the surface area. Of course, small intestine is a very long coiled tube which is present in our body. Even though it is so long, it still needs to have some surface area for the digested nutrients and the digested foods to be absorbed. And this has a finger-like projections called villi. What does these do? Increases the surface area further than what already is there in the small intestine. It further increases the surface area, aiding in the absorption of the nutrients and digested food. Next, Large intestine. After small comes the large intestine in the digestive tract. This is going according to the chronological order. Large intestine further absorbs water and salts from the remaining undigested food that passes after going through the small intestine. It further goes into the large intestine. This part is mostly undigested food. Even from this, water and salts can be absorbed. This is done by the large intestine. Okay, this plays one of the major key roles in the digestive tract. Next, anus or rectum is the final component of the digestive tract or human digestive system. What does anus do? It is a passage through which the waste produced in our body gets ejected during the excretion, ensuring the cleanliness of our digestive system. As we said before, why is the excretion or egestion needed? To maintain the efficiency of the digestive system. Further, we'll go to the role of digestive juices. Digestive juices, as the word says, there are certain juices present in our body which helps or aids in the digestion. These are called as digestive juices. One of the first digestive juices, saliva. In the previous video, if you remember, I had told you that mouth is the first part of the digestive tract where the digestion begins. How does it happen? It happens through saliva. Saliva is a liquid substance produced in our mouth through salivary glands, and this saliva contains salivary amylase. Salivary amylase. Amylase, whenever this word comes in any part of the biology, it is usually associated with breaking down of complex carbohydrates into simpler carbohydrates, namely starch to sugar. In the initial phase of eating food, this saliva ensures that the food is soft enough for the digestive system to digest it properly and efficiently and easily. This makes further digestion easy. Next comes the gastric juices, mainly present in stomach. Gastric juices is usually associated with stomach. What are there are certain gastric juices present in the stomach. What do? They convert the food particles which enter into a semi-liquid mixture called as chyme. Why does it convert it so? Because proteins are one of the complex food nutrients. They need to be broken down into simpler parts so that the further digestion can happen easily. Stomach contains, if you remember in the previous video, an acid. Which is that acid? Please comment it down. Gastric juices, I already told, acid is one of them, and there are certain enzymes which are also secreted. Why does this happen? This happens because nutrient absorption in the small intestine should be easier. Next comes the bile. Bile is mainly produced in liver and stored in a different organ named as gallbladder. Emulsification of fats or emulsifies fats. What does this mean? This is similar to breaking down of carbohydrates. This indicates that complex fats is converted into small fat globules. Emulsification of fat means breaking down of complex fats into simple fats. You can simply remember it as it is. Next, allowing the enzymes to effectively break down for the nutrients absorption. Everything comes down. Every role of digestive juices comes down to this. It should be easier for the next part in the digestive system for the complete digestion of food. That is the main goal of every digestive juices. Next, we come to the pancreatic juices. There are namely 3 pancreatic juices. One is amylase, which is particularly dedicated into pancreas. Next is trypsin. And last one is lipase. This is for amylase, as I've already told you before, for carbohydrates. Trypsin is for proteins and lipase is for fats. Lipase, trypsin, amylase. Fat, protein, carbohydrates, protein, fats. These are the 3 pancreatic juices. What do? They aid in complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. This will all be your notes. Please note it down while you are going through the video so that you can easily revise it when you are approaching a test or an exam, even a unit test. This will be very useful for you. So continue. So start writing go back in the video, start writing so that you will have a effective notes, effective way of revising things. We discussed about pancreatic juices. Pancreatic juices namely are 3. Amylase, trypsin, lipase. Amylase is for breaking down carbohydrates into even simpler sugars. Trypsin is for breaking down of proteins into amino acids. Lipase is for converting fat into small fat globules. Next, without pancreatic juices, digestion is very inefficient. Why is it so? Because at the final, when the digestion is approaching the final steps of the digestive tract, this pancreatic juices makes it even easier for the digestion to happen with those three enzymes. Next, we are coming into the digestion of ruminants and amoeba. Other than humans, these are the main things which are mentioned, main animals which are mentioned in the textbook. This is of course the picture of a cow. How does cow digest food? These kind of animals usually are called ruminants, mainly herbivores. Herbivores are animals which feed on grass and other vegetables, other leafy things. Herbivores are usually called as ruminants. Why? Because they have a special gut bacteria called as rumen. Rumen is a special kind of gut bacteria present in particularly herbivores. What do? There is a complex, very complex carbohydrate present in the plants which is called as cellulose. This rumen helps in the digestion of these cellulose. And if you have ever noticed the cow, what does a cow do? It always imitates a chewing motion in its mouth. Why does it do that? First, a cow wholly swallows the food going into the stomach, and then after a few time has passed, it comes back to the mouth. So it is always constantly repetitively chewing for the breaking down of this cellulose into simpler substance. Then it goes into the stomach where cellulose is broken down by a gut bacteria called as rumen. Cud, as I already told you, this chewing food that comes back to the mouth is called as cud for the re-chewing purpose, for the bettering of the digestion. There may be a question which comes in your exam: why can't humans eat grass or leafy vegetables for their survival? Why? Because of absence of humans can't eat leafy vegetables and leafy foods. Why? Because they don't have the gut bacteria called as rumen and don't have a digestive system developed enough to digest cellulose. This will be your answer. Next, we come to amoeba. There are certain parts in amoeba: pseudopodium, nucleus, food particle that is entering, and food vacuole. What does pseudopodia mean? If you break down the word pseudopodia, pseudo means false and podia means legs, which helps in the traveling of this. False legs, these are also a small finger-like projections present around amoeba, which helps in the engulfing of the food particles. Where does this food particles get digested? They get digested in internal vacuoles or food vacuoles. And rest of it is as it is. Once the food gets digested, waste which is collected is ejected out again through the back end of the amoeba. Amoeba is a shapeless unicellular organism, and these also have some digestive juices which helps in the digestion. Now we'll go through a quick recap. In this video we explored 5 essential steps of nutrition, namely ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. Please remember the definitions of this. This is the base of this chapter. Next, we understood about human system, how different parts of human system aid in different stages of digestion. Next, we learned about the role of digestive juices and special digestion in ruminants and amoeba. These were the key concepts covered in this. We will have a quick questionnaire. What are the 5 mind steps involved in nutrition in humans? I already told you in the previous slide. Why is hydrochloric acid secreted in the stomach? This was from the previous video. Kindly go through it, recall your memory, and answer this. Where does the complete digestion of food happen? I hinted you in one of the slides. Where does the complete digestion happen? Answer it and comment it down in the comment section, please. How does a cow digest food? Through rumination. This I compared between herbivores and humans to explain to you how it happens. These are the hints for you. Which organ produces bile and what is its function? Again, please go back in the video and answer it. How does an amoeba capture and digest food? Capturing and digestion. You have to write both. This was all about the chapter nutrition in animals. Thank you. See you in the next video.